Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for December 2019. This is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, it just doesn't. All right, Gemini. So, wow. Okay, so we have Judgment at your current energy. Seems it's a big month for transformation for many of us. It's third time I've seen Judgment today. Transformation. I hope you're well, Gemini. It makes sense that it's a big time for all of us. I mean, there's some shifts going on, and Jupiter is moving into Capricorn after being in home in Sagittarius for the past 1 year, and that's going to affect us all. If you have Sagittarius in your chart, maybe even more, and Capricorn, but just the way we work with these energies and the way we use these energies can be quite different. And we're in Sagittarius season now. Sagittarius is your opposite sign, so it may feel somewhat uncomfortable sometimes, but it's like a little bit out of comfort zone, but still seductive, and that's kind of the relationship we tend to have with our opposites signs, the opposite axis. It's something that we can learn from, that we benefit from growth, but at the same time can also be a little bit frustrating and uncomfortable. There's two extremes. That's when you get those two extremes back together, that's when we learn everything in between, which is fantastic. Anyway, let's see what's the challenge for Gemini this month of December. The Ace of Wands, I have this backwards, is your challenge. The Knight of Pentacles is your focus. The Page of Swords, seriously, what's going on in here? Okay, because the thing is, I don't read reversals, but I think that this time I completely mixed them up somehow. Well, they come as they come. Page of Swords as your advice, and the Four of Wands as your future energy. La la la. Nice. And we have the Nine of Pentacles as your theme, the theme of your reading. The underlying energy, what you're working with this month, what you're working towards, what you're working with. All right. Nine of Pentacles talks about reaping the benefits from your work, enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying your alone time, and celebrating the hard work you've put in so far. Talks also about divine timing, that there's a time for this type of celebration and there's a time for hard work. Also talks about the fact that you had to maybe suppress some shit in order to work this hard. You had to tame yourself and you had to train yourself to suppress your to tame your wild impulses in order to put in the hard work. The way she tamed this bird, taming of a bird is a bit of a cruel process, so it's important to understand that we need to befriend our darkest parts of ourselves, not just tame them. I'm gonna put up some clarifiers before we go deeper into this story. So we have the Nine of the Hermit with Judgment as your current energy. The Magician with the Ace of Wands, both wands, as your challenge. You have the Prince of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles as your focus. You have the Prince of Wands with the Page of Swords as your advice. And you have the Empress with the Four of Wands as your future energy. Nice. And we have the Ace of Stones, Ace of Pentacles as your underlying energy, right? Hmm. In this deck, the pentacles are very much connected to the natives, the Native Americans, because they were a peoples very, very connected with the earth and to the wisdom of the earth and to the animal spirits and all that. And see, there's this hawk flying free here, and there's this hawk here. I think it's a hawk, whatever, you know better maybe. Being tamed and blindfolded in order to be disciplined. I think that beyond the normal explanation of these cards, I see the message that you need to let your bird, the inner bird, fly free. And you need to develop a new relationship with that part of yourself that you had to tame in order to attain this type of stability that the Nine of Pentacles brings. It was needed. It's fine. But some freedom is also necessary. And it's an ace. You have the opportunity now to connect in a very earthy way, though, in a very grounded way. Now you're grounded enough, you're strong enough, you're stable enough to hold space and hold ground for your wilder side to come out. So current energy, you have the Judgment with Hermit. These are Greek cards. This is like major arcana. So you're going through quite a moment here. A moment where you are opening yourself up to real change. A change that is very much needed and appreciated. Look at these people. They're rising for them from the graves, and they're receiving grace. And they're receiving, they're setting themselves free from whatever this life that you've been living so far brought for you. You're losing the identity of the life you've had so far, and the patterns and the stories and all that, you know. And with the Hermit, you're bringing like healing, and you're bringing you have this investigative type of attitude towards it. You're curious, and you're not afraid to go deep. You're not afraid to go within yourself and have spent maybe some alone time to really stay present for this. Because it's a huge transformation. The Judgment talks about huge change. And it may be very freeing, it may be very is that type of surrender and that type of like coming to place where you can really let go of all the grudges as well. It talks about forgiveness. It talks about like really set, allowing a dormant part of you, that inner self and inner wisdom to come out, allowing yourself to really connect to your soul's journey into this world. See, this old man is on the top of the mountain here, and he's being surrounded by all these birds, which understand. And these birds are all like so many birds here in this reading. These birds talk about wisdom, and these are owls. Owls talk about connection with the spirit world, and they see in the dark. And he's carrying this light which holds the star most of the time. And he's having this epiphany here because he understands the wisdom. He understands with it, like he's still on the top of the mountain. He managed to overcome a serious challenge. It's a beautiful place to be, Gemini. And this brings an awakening, a huge awakening for you. Days of Wands. It's like it's obviously awakening. It's part of you that's been dormant, right? You wake up. It's like you've been asleep. You've been in a trance for a long time, a trance of fear or a trance of unworthiness. And like, check out Tara Brach. She has a lot of talks on YouTube about these trances that we can get caught up in, the trance of fear, the trance of unworthiness, the trance of anger. And now you're setting yourself free, right? And you wake up, and that waking up can feel a little bit uncomfortable for some of us, because we see how much responsibility that brings. We see everything that's on the table, the cup, the stone, the swords. We understand it's very Mercurian energy. We understand the power of our mind, and we understand how the universe works. And that can be intimidating, that type of knowledge. Maybe we sometimes feel too small for holding that type of knowledge. Maybe sometimes you're like, who am I to have access to such things? It can't be that easy. Or it can't be that, it can't be me. Whatever it is that you find challenging here, because this is your challenge position, do stay present through it and bear witness, because there's so much for you in this process right now. Do not feel too small for this task, because you're ready. And sometimes being awake, being sober a little bit, being coming into our inner power, and this is like the Ace of Wands is like our beacon opens up. We may start connecting to things that we weren't aware we can connect with. And it needs practice, and it needs time, and it needs trust, a lot of trust. I want to read the Magician from this deck for you. And it's once, after the 19 and 20. Look at this journey. No, this is 9, sorry. But 9 has to do with the inner. There's 2 big cycles within the big cycle, from 1 to 10, and then from 10 to 21, 22. So this is 20. It's that huge shift, right? And then you have 2 wands coming as your challenge. But yeah, hear this out. So the Magician is Mercury. The symbols in the foreground represent the 4 suits of the minor arcana: wands, swords, cup, and stones. They are also ritual objects for the Holy Grail. The Magician wears a tiara, symbol of the crowning power of the intellect. Crystals radiating from the Magician's left eye indicate, I hope you see all this. Let me show it to you better. Where was I? Crystals radiating from the Magician's left eye indicate the ability to perceive the pure forms of existence, an ability that could be clouded by unintegrated darker emotions represented by the figure rising from the tiara. There's a figure rising from there. Here, see? Don't know if you can see, it looks a bit dark. There's a figure right there. There you go. Now you can see. All right. Divinatory meanings: power, strength, being in control of one's life, transforming old situations, bringing in new ones, a burst of energy, creativity, focused will. This may come up for you. It will come up, the awareness of all this, but it also may come up as something that you feel it's challenging. Okay, your focus is the Knight of Pentacles with the Prince of Cups. Knight of Pentacles is it's transformation, it's expansion. Really, all knights talk about expansion, being like on the move in order to see the land and what's there, in order to experience. But Knight of Pentacles is the slowest one. So maybe your focus is your understanding that there's such thing as slow and steady growth. And you understand where to put your value, because you look around a little bit, and this is something that you do well, Gemini. By the way, all this Mercurian energy here, and you're Gemini, of course, you're run by Mercury. Parzival also is the son of the Prince of Cups. That means the Knight of Cups, and he's a kind figure. He's somebody who's really nice, warm, and kind. But look at the petrified figure of Parzival here when he realizes the power of the Holy Grail. Maybe this is what you're terrified here, because when you wake up like this, you start having that vision about your life's journey, and that can mean scary, because every life journey is going to have both love and joy, but also hard lessons. And maybe you're starting anticipating some of those hard lessons, and you're like, holy damn Christ, what have I signed up for here? But this is normal. We all go through this. And we have this mammal brain that's telling us, okay, avoid pain, seek pleasure. But we also have more than this. We have love, we have compassion, and we have understanding, and understand value. What's valuable for me to grow as a person? What do I need to go through in order for my consciousness to evolve? So having this loving kindness, compassion coming out for you is really, really good as focus. Have compassion for what you've been through. Have compassion for what's coming, because it's all good. It's all lessons, and it's all absolutely important for you with this divine timing. Do celebrate now. Do celebrate the moment that you're in right now, because it's an important moment for you. And listen, like this, from what I see this month, it's an amazing month. Do not freak out too much. Take life one breath at a time. I have the Page of Swords with the Prince of Wands here. Prince of Wands. Yeah, we are in Sagittarius season, and normally the Prince of Wands is the Knight of Wands, meaning Sagittarius energy. So you work with this energy this month. Page of Swords. I think this is Gemini energy, actually. Or is it Libra? Well, the Page of Swords is obviously air energy, and this is your device. Allow your mind to get enthusiastic a little bit for this transformation that's happening. This is a transformation that happens naturally for you right now. You don't need to strive to change anything in your mind right now. Simply allow yourself to feel the wind of change that comes. See how you are. How you can use the power of your mind. See, he holds one sword up, so means also mental clarity. You're getting that type of clarity, and allow yourself to see where it takes you. And with the Son of Wands in the East, which is Krishna in this deck, is talking about taking the divine understanding and manifesting it into the world. And he does it through his flute here. So it can be that you can allow yourself maybe to dive into singing and playing music or things like this, or find your own ways to put whatever understanding you're getting here, deep awakening, but put it somehow into the world for others to benefit from it as much as you, because this is what transformation is all about. We're not only transforming ourselves, we're transforming ourselves as part of a whole, as part of the whole world. We are an organism. All right, so what's coming for you, my dear Gemini, is it's really beautiful. It's that stability, that spirituality. This is also the 1111 card, which can talk about union with someone dear. And you have the Empress, was some type of upgraded version of this, of like really real abundance, real understanding, real connectedness with the earth and with the body and with the feminine wisdom. And here you have the feminine and the masculine coming together. In terms of energy, can be inner energy, but can be also outside of yourself, connecting with your counterpart. If you're feminine, connecting to some masculine, or if you're some male, or if you're male with some female. I want to also read the Empress for you from this deck, because I like the symbolism there. Okay, so it's an earth symbol. Below the eye at the top of the card is a woman, and behind her a doorway symbolizing culture. The open door is scaled like a fish, and the art suggests a church, religion. The woman stands on a crescent that floats in the water, like this moon. She holds a scepter topped with a pine cone and a snake that wraps around her arm. The snake represents transformation and enlightenment. That's what we were talking about. A band of light is around her heart. A golden bird flies towards her ear as if to bring the word of heaven. Divinatory meanings: passion, love of nature, motherhood, joyous activity. Motherhood, well, if you are trying to get pregnant, maybe that's a sign for you. But it can mean simply creativity and holding that space of nurturing. All right, I'm going to pull out also a Rumi card for you from the Alana Fairchild Rumi Oracle. All right. Beyond Death Life, yet another one. My God, Gemini, you're on fire this month. So the poem from Rumi that comes with this card says, footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. Rumi. Wow, wow, wow. So the soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness, and wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of this soul incarnating in this world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The older the soul, the closer it is to the realization of divine oneness, and the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. So here you are, an old soul at the edge of something you have known, at the cusp of an ending and a beginning. An ending and a beginning. Hey, yes. Perhaps you are already in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you are fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way, so that love may grow. There is no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. You are waking up. There's nothing to fear there. There may be uncertainty and even insecurity, yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your clumsy, inspired travails into new life. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you. You get this knowledge of the magician. And here, having this big angel blowing over you. So what must you do to receive this grace, this new life? You must be willing to face death. It may be that death that has come to you in the form of loss of a beloved one, a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair or depths of your grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore. Old identities having shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, mere ego masks, too small for the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. How you deal with this grace hidden through, though it may first appear to be under the cloak of crisis, is up to you. You have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective and to choose, if you wish, to rest your inner gaze upon what lies beyond the death. That's why this dude here was so, was like, oh, what's in the cards here? um you have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective and to choose, if you wish, to rest your inner gaze upon what lies beyond death. Gaze instead upon the new life that is calling to you. When you know deep within that no matter what experiences you have had in your life, that you are untainted, you will be more easily able to trust in the love of the divine has for you. You won't question your worthiness, and therefore you will trust in life more easily and more fully, no matter how much it asks for you at times. The divine is a relentless lover. It wants nothing less than your total being to be held in its embrace. Sometimes that means we will have to give up lesser loves for the greater love, the divine one that calls us to remember our true nature. You are beautiful, blazing soul having a human experience that defines explanation and opens you up to divinity. That is what is happening in your life now, whether the death is obvious and painful to you, or whether you are uncertain as to how it is as yet showing up in your life. Either way, there is an ending imminent and a new life coming to you. Or whether you are uncertain as to how it, So there's a new life coming to you with greater opportunity for your radiant soul to shine its beauty in the world. Grasp it eagerly, beloved. Now it's not the time for fear and hesitation. Focus on what is becoming whilst honoring what is no longer to be. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm happy to see this huge transformation for you in your life. Changes can feel sometimes scary, but there's like all this energy here is incredibly supportive for you. You have everything that you need right here in front of you with the magician. Do not fall into fear of the unknown, because it's part of the journey. All right, my dear Gemini, I hope that makes sense to you. If it does, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you here soon.